Hi, hello, welcome to Dusty Shop, where bad decisions are rabid and planning is lacking. So, don't do what we do. Well, you could try it. Have fun with it. You know, do the YouTube stuff. Click like and subscribe. Alright, thanks. Alright, circus goers. So, here we are again today. We are here with Goldie. And, yeah, we're going to try to get it running today. So, we got a couple loose ends to do. You know, all the we'll get her laters and stuff you just overlook when you're doing this much work in this amount of time. Yeah, because you know we missed something, and there's gonna be something in here that's gonna need to be fixed or we ain't quite right. Because there's a few things in the truck when we were doing stuff that you wouldn't know. You know, is it gonna work? Is it not gonna work? We won't know until it starts running. So what we're doing here is we had a couple lines when we reran the all the wiring harness back in place. So there's a couple things that are a little tight and ain't routed right and got routed wrong. So what George and I are going to do now is we're going to we're going to get all that straightened up real quick so that way everything's not in a bind and tight. So and yes, we had another audio problem with the again. Yeah, so we're doing a voiceover through this whole the whole video. Yay. So anyhow, yeah. So George is over there. We had some ABS lines and a couple grounds and stuff that were not right. I shouldn't say right. They just weren't routed right. We didn't like the way they were laying. You know, you got exhaust and all that because we put all that harness down in there. We didn't have a motor. So and then now, we got the truck up in the air. So there's a ground strap right there that, it's, I put a new one on there and, it didn't work out right. So, got to make a little repair right there. Plus, we're overlooking everything, make sure the starter's lined up, everything's tight, didn't miss nothing, wires are not going to get, burnt, tore up or anything else when we fire this thing up. And plus, it's good to do, double check everything. Make sure the torque converter's tight. All that good stuff because, when you're putting stuff together and plowing through there, sometimes I miss stuff. And so that's why the two of us work well together because, it's no big deal to look and check, make sure it was tight. And if not, double check because, tighten it up right now won't take no big deal. We fire that thing up, something's loose and tears stuff up. Now we're fixing stuff that we didn't want to fix, didn't plan on fixing, and don't want to pay to fix. So, the other thing underneath here we had was the transmission shifter cable, which that's that one in my hand right now. That's one out of a Tahoe, an Avalanche. We had out back because I ordered a repair kit for the one for the truck, and yeah, it's not even close to being what it is. It needs to be or anything else. So we just went out back. We're like, man, maybe the one on the Avalanche will work because it's in good shape. It's just and no, it did not. As you can see right there, I'm kind of sizing up the cable to where it's supposed to go and how it routes through the truck and where it pops through and where the little rubber booty things and stuff are. And yeah, we're just it's not happening. That cable right there is way too long. So I'm still trying to figure out if I can maybe make it work. But the harder I look and, me messing around over here, no. That part right there, that worked. That was adjustable and all that. But problem is when we start going through the car body and get all the way up to the steering column. Because now we're going to have like this big loop in it. And that's just not right and not look good. So, why waste a bunch of time doing that? So we were it's just aggravating because stuff we ordered supposed to fix this was not it. So, it happens. But so I'll take some pictures, come up with something. We'll figure something out. We gotta get that fixed. And so, for the sake of doing keeping things going so we can check things and make sure everything else works, we're getting out the old duct tape And you know, when we took this apart, they had it all taped up on there. We know why now. They probably ran across the same problem we did. And so what do we do? We duct taped it back on there. So that way we can bring the truck down and put it in gear, make sure the transmission is going to go into gear, and blah blah blah. And so what I'm doing now is double checking everything, triple checking it. So you know, like I said, we did, you know, front suspension, went to the rear end, we took that apart. You know, we've seen the videos of that. So you know, there's a lot of stuff taken apart, a lot of stuff put back together. One of the things kind of having some issue with was with that exhaust flange gasket. I don't know why that thing is so hard to get. It's just crazy. So, but we got it. Got to put in there. We greased up the suspension. Boy, we greased it up, and once we started putting weight to it, man, grease is going everywhere. So that front end is well greased up. In fact, like I said, here we're still kind of jacking around with that stupid ground cable. That thing was just, you know, annoying. Gotta have it, but still at the same time, it was just really annoying. Had to sit there and mess with that thing, but gotta be fixed. Gotta work. Me and George, we're just discussing the alignment, some of the other stuff we need to do. Yeah, here I am again. I'm still messing with it. I'm gonna get in there and tighten it up, just move it around a little bit because it's still not kind of lined up where I wanted it. Last thing you want to do is have that thing, yeah, break on you when you're in, you know. No. And now I gotta do the super stretch to get up there and get it on. So it's just annoying. You went in there, you know, put that thing on. I don't know how many times. That starter wire, and so I had to redo the ends and everything on the starter when I put the starter in there because it just was just giving me fits. So you know, there are days you're messing with that. And all right, so as we continue on with this thing, we were looking, walking around. So we did brakes all the way around, front and rear. And I noticed something. Yeah, we got something wet back there. We got something going on. Now we replaced the shoes and everything else, but we did not replace the rear wheel cylinders. Now, I did bleed them out and flush the brake system. And so I'm like, well, that's gonna have to be looked at. There ain't no doubt about that. So. But that's why we do this. That way we can see like this. We got something back there. We didn't replace the wheel cylinders. They weren't leaking. They were working. Everything seemed okay back there. We got the e-brake working good. Things just, you know, sometimes give up life. So we'll so me and George are trying to we're cussing and discussing right now whether or not to rip the wheels off right now and do it, but instead what we're gonna do is keep continuing on. What George is doing right now, he is getting all the extra grease off all the ball joints and everything else, because I mean we lubed it up. The whole grease gun was working that good that day. So we got a little bit extra, you know, we got a little cleanup work to do around that stuff, and so that's what he's doing right there. He's gonna get all that cleaned up. I am still debating whether or not to pull that wheel off and take a look inside, but instead, you know, I get it. Need to keep it on so we can get this thing started and see what all we got going on, because you know, I know there's gonna be something. Like I said at the beginning of the video, we knew there would be something we'd have to work on, and like I said, George is still cleaning up all the grease from. We got a little happy with the grease. One thing's for sure is that front end is not dry in any kind, any way, shape, or form. So. I'm cleaning up some stuff. I don't know why that's even in the shop. So out the back door it goes. Yeah, I got a little helper sometimes, and he drags up some odd stuff. I don't know, but anywho, So we'll continue on with this. Kind of looking at things. I'm debating whether or not, and watch, I started doing it here. He's kind of looking, kind of eyeballing the wheel to see how in line they are from each other. Because, yeah, need to do that too. So now we got the truck down. We tried to start it, and yeah, I was 180 degrees out. So, because when I was assembling the engine, you know what I didn't do? When I had all the covers off, I did not put the engine on top of that center. No, I didn't. So then I tried all the covers on there, and I went to go stab the distributor. Yeah, well, I was 180 degrees off. So I was like, well, all right then, that's no big deal. Get up in there, pop that cat back out of the way, and spin that old distributor 180 degrees, and we are in like Flynn. And George is still kind of cleaning. He just not happy with that way that wires were down there. We kept messing with them to get them finally. We did get them finally where we liked them, but it just took a little messing with, kind of get everything kind of right where it needed to be. Because do it now. So we had that whole wiring harness. The whole harness was wadded up right there on top of the master cylinder. So, and I did not put the wiring harness. I didn't lay it out before we stabbed the engine. Yep. So it made it more fun to get everything in right. I should have done it, but woulda, coulda, shoulda. And yeah. So here we go. Another thing too is we're checking vacuum lines and make sure all of them are, all the little clips and clamps and everything else are tight. Because yeah, I did miss a couple because George was in there. That's what he's doing too, is getting some hose clamps and stuff tightened up because just a tad bit loose. So, you know, like I said, we're trying to we're getting all that done. With that, flipped the old distributor around. George is, like I said, he was just having a good day with that side of the engine. He just all kinds of goofiness going on over there. For some reason, things just didn't want to sit right. And now that the engine's in there, stuff that used to be easy to get to, it ain't so easy to get to no more. So, like I said, just kind of him on around. Not him on around, but getting things lined up, set up where it needs to be before we, start running this thing up. And as you can see, there I am. Got the distributor loosed, caps off the way, and now I'm, like I said, spinning it right now. No, not too hard. It happens. Yeah, just pull it up, spin it on 180 degrees, and it'll sit right back down. That's how you know you got it in there, right in the right spot to begin with. Is shouldn't have to do nothing but. And yeah, we double checking, sure we ain't got no fuel leaks. Everything else up before that, just like I said, when we started it up, you could tell right away that yeah, I had 180 degrees out. Plus a couple other things, like I said, a couple loose things, a couple clamps not done right. And then now, get all that done, tightened up, so that we, we can do the old, fire it up and run. Alright, now that we've got the distributor back down on it, and what we're doing right now, we're going to prime it one more time. And, make sure we get all the air and everything out of the fuel injector system. Like I said, before we flipped it, we never really got it to bust off or nothing because it wasn't set right. So when we took off right here, so we got it fired up, and man, did it rev up. Man, it didn't knock, didn't ping, didn't do nothing, but it does have a high idle, so I had a vacuum leak. So as you can see there, she's up there in the idles. She's way up there, so I try to rev her up. Sometimes you can kind of kick it up there. Don't George shut her down. She's not coming down. like it's supposed to. 'Cause sometimes you can fire them up, they'll kind of run up a little bit and then come back down. So what I'm going to do here is I don't have the mass airflow and all that. So yeah, we're going to put the breather back on it and get the map and all that. Sensors hooked up because, you know, like I said, the thing's been sitting down for a couple weeks and everything's fresh, everything's new, everything's been taken apart. So get all the sensors back on it because it needs it. Because like I said, it was revving up there pretty good idle. The nice thing with that was there was no knock and rattle and banging and clanging, nothing like that. So that's a great thing. This is just one of them deals where, you know, the truck was sitting up a while, so some of the fitting, I shouldn't say that, some of the rubbers and all that were pretty rough, as they should be. And and sometimes when you're taking stuff apart too, stuff falls, you know, you get stuff like vacuum lines or whatever will get split, and this is kind of the part of it too, is where you're running around and you thought you got all the vacuum ends off, you know, replaced in good shape, and then you fire the truck up and find out that no, you missed one or two. So kind of what I'm doing here, we're running around seeing what else I missed. Which now George starts up the truck again. I did find one that was leaking, so it's like, well, all right, there we go. Starts it right up, and she starts right up, and she idles just like she's supposed to. Comes down, but I got my thumb over a vacuum leak that I need to get a new little hose in for that, because it's, you can put your finger on it and you can feel where it's just, yeah. Me and George are like, well, yeah. So I'm gonna run over to the old deal, and George is gonna keep his thumb on there. And we're gonna try to give her a little bit of a heat cycle, let some oil get flowing, let the water get to running, so that way we make sure that thermostat opens up and closes like it's supposed to. Get the oil up to the top of the motor really good. Start seeing what's going on and everything else as I'm. There we go. Come back, put a little fitting on there. Boom. Here we go. And so we got that taken care of. And now she's running. She's running like she's supposed to. She's still got a headlight out. Yeah, I need to fix that. Yeah. Thought I did that, but I guess not. We'll get that fixed. No big deal. So we found another one. So back over to the little, over to where we keep all the little hose ends and vacuum parts and all that stuff. So that way we can get that fixed. And here we go. We got the right part for the right job. And bam, in we go. So we got that done. And I said, now we're kind of looking over everything, looking over the top of the engine, checking all that, because I did change out the little quick disconnect thingies for the coolant lines. I just hate those things. They always rot. They always fall off. I got little pipe end fittings I use to replace them, and then I just take that out because it doesn't help us any. Now these trucks are this old. So one of the things underneath there is, yeah, we have an oil leak underneath there in the front of the pan. So if you could look at the Krylon rebuild videos, when I was working with the oil pan, they had a lot of RTV in the front of that pan. And yeah, it's got a leak right there. So I'm gonna have to come back and I'm gonna have to fix that. I'm gonna do it a little different than what was done before, which, you know, obviously, but it's right there in the corners and stuff. So like I said, this is part of it. I didn't expect it, nothing else, because it's an old truck, and you know, it's been well used, and so it needs a little bit of love. And so now we're checking stuff. We need to put a little more coolant in it, get all the air out of it, because as of right now, when we put this thing back together, there was no coolant anywhere. So everything was dried out, cleaned out, and all that good stuff. So you're gonna keep adding a little here and there. And one thing we had the transmission rebuilt. We got to deal with a local transmission shop to do our transmissions for us, because, you know, I don't have all the tools for everything. So it's just sometimes some things you just gotta farm out for right now. But we're just discussing there. We're making sure there is no other coolant leaks around our new lines. We get them Mucho Muy or Muy Mucho, whatever those are. Those the same ones that makes the turbo boots. I've got some. I bought these same brand hoses on my dually for the turbo system, and yeah, pretty cool hoses. So I bought some here for the coolant system. I didn't even know they made coolant hoses, but I guess so. Their hoses are hose. So like I said, we're checking everything, still kind of walking around, kicking the tires, making sure, as you can see here, the truck's running and there's no smoke. That's great, because it didn't smoke before, but we got no smoke. No water out the tailpipe, because the tailpipe's right there by the back tires, so there was nothing back there. On the floor, we're running out of it, other than the smell of all the paint kind of getting cooked into the metal like it's supposed to. Right there, that's our notepad for all the goodies and needs for the final push to get the truck done. So that's what I'm doing right there, making a few notes as I'm thinking about it. Yeah, she's in pretty good shape. I didn't. Yeah. So we put in air. We have a brand new air filter. So we're gonna put that new air filter on her. Get her, just help it breathe. You know, we went through all this. I get garbage sucked up in all the nice clean work we did. So, like I said, we are making the final notes for a few things we need to do here and there. All right, circus goers. So we're got our list little deal. So we decided, you know what, we need to put this thing in gear. So we started it right back up. As you can see there, get the truck started, and George putting it in gear, and nothing. Revved it up, nothing. So now we're kind of looking around to see if we see any red stuff laying around, leaking from somewhere. What did we do? What did we do? So, you know, I thought, wow, let's start it back up, and let's check the fluid, because I put it together, and I put some transmission fluid in it. So I filled the torque converter, and I put some in there, and I turned around and looked on the bench behind me. And you know what there was? There was transmission fluid sitting there behind the box, that filter box. So I pull it out, check it. Guess what? There ain't nothing on the stick. It's like, that's nice. So, yeah. Yep. Oops. Go get a funnel. So let's get the transmission filled up to the proper levels, because you know, that kind of helps with the transmission to run right if you got enough fluid in it. Yeah, so that's what we're doing there. It was about 4 quarts low. Yeah, 4 quarts. That's a lot. But for whatever reason, I thought I put, I think it holds like 10 quarts. I thought I put all 10 quarts in there. Obviously, I didn't, because all I had was 10 quarts, and there's still 4 quarts sitting on the behind that. Like I said, there's a big cardboard box that the air filter came in, and they were behind it. So for some reason, yeah. So here we are. We're gonna fill the transmission up to the proper level, so that way, you know, it's all nice and full, like it's supposed to be, and that way we can run her through the, you know, just make sure it goes into gear. Get the clutches and fluid going where it needs to be. Get some air out of the system, because like I said, it's new too. It's all rebuilt. Like I said, I can't believe I did that. No, actually, that's why we do this, is to make sure everything works. And yeah, check it one more time. Don't want to overfill it, that's for sure. Check it again. I think, you know, one more, because right now the truck's still running. So the truck is running while we're doing all this. So it's like, all right, add some more to it. So now that we'll get the old transmission to, it does going forward, it does go in reverse and shift nice and smooth, no hard hits, no nothing. It seems to be working like a champ. And I'm still adding water. I don't know what this thing's just thirsty. I think, you know, added the water to her. So now we've got a truck that runs. So we do know we got an issue with the front of the motor. We need a little something up there. We got a little something to look at the back wheels before we start driving around. So what I need to do is I need to get some more oil because I'm going to drain the oil down. Just one thing too is, you know, I started it up and had the motor apart. So and then sludge and whatever all broke loose. So we'll throw a new filter and some oil, fresh oil in it. Fix the oil leak, which I have a way to do that. So with that being said, that should do it for right now. George and myself, we're going to come back and we're going to do a video with some audio where you can actually hear this thing running and making some noise. And like I said, hopefully on that video is the one where we get to do the burnout, because I talked to the guy that owns the truck and he's all in. So, and like playing with this, so we're going to do it. I'm going to throw some of my tires on the truck and come over here and we're going to do a burnout here in the shop. We have the old OG back there. And yeah, so thanks for watching, and yeah, catch us on the next one. All right, thanks.